When I'm reading the Bible, I look at it through those lens. I don't look at it through the lens of somebody just flipping through chapters and looking for God to say, oh, okay, here's what we need to do. I'm actually looking for insight and looking through that lens. So perhaps in this episode, I'll give you the reasons why God doesn't want you to be broke, but he wants you to be rich. Number one, how do I know that? Many of you have the famous saying to me, oh, Matt, it's easier for a camel to go through an eye of a needle than a rich man to get into heaven. Oh, so therefore, Matt, you shouldn't be talking about getting rich. You shouldn't be talking about making money. You shouldn't talk about being financially free. You shouldn't talk about being a millionaire. Well, I'll tell you this. I don't talk about being a millionaire just to be a millionaire, just to roll around in money and just to gloat about it. When I look at the financial resources that I need to raise my family, the things that I want to do in my ministry work and contribution I want to make to invest in businesses, I need to make $1 million. Not because I just want to buy fancy cars or live in fancy homes or use money as a status symbol. I use money as a tool. And when looking at Matthew 19, which 24, which many of you say, oh, it's easier for a camel to go through an eye of a needle than a rich man to get into heaven. For many of you that have those comments towards me, in fact, I agree with you. That if you think I'm going to be better than everybody else to get access to heaven because I'm rich, you're right. Absolutely. However, I will say this though. If you feel that you've been blessed with a business, you've been blessed with a potential to go to school, you've been blessed to be a citizen in the United States of America, I believe that you have a higher obligation, be a better blessing, a bigger blessing to other people. And I just want to reiterate, money is not a status symbol. Money, again, is a tool. Because if you go to number 2, he also goes on to the teachings of the parable of the landowner and the workers in the vineyard. So people were working. This guy was making wine. He was growing grapes. He was growing olives, and he had vines and all sorts of things on his farm. And he's going to people and say, hey, listen, you want to work? You want to work? Okay, I'll hire you. You want to work? I'll hire you. I'll hire you. I'll hire you. Okay, you want to work? Okay, I'll hire you for this one. I think it was called a denarius. I'll give you this. I'll give you this. I'll give you this. And then part of this parable says, oh, he goes into the 11th hour. He says, you want to work still? You want to work still? So hold up, wait a minute. In the 11th hour? So people didn't work 8 hours in the Bible? People didn't work 7 hours in the Bible? He said in the 11th hour, he was still hiring people to work for that day. So oftentimes we're like, Matt, I work too much. I work too hard, this pandemic told me to work from home and okay, understand with the pandemic, respect it. But here's the hard part with some people who are working from home. Sometimes people work from home and it's not getting the best out of them. It might be convenient for you. Just because you could do that doesn't mean you should do that. I mean, there's a bigger discipline of working in the office because now you're held accountable to somebody. Some of you call it the boss, and some of you who are entrepreneurs, you call it your customers, your shareholders, your board of directors. But he commands us not to be lazy, because even in the 11th hour, he was still hiring people. This entrepreneur was still hiring people even in the 11th hour of that day. Okay, so he's hiring people, and the day is done, okay? And the workers come up and say it's time to get paid. And it says, okay, for those of you who are hired in the 11th hour, pay them 1 denarius. For those of you who work in the first of the hour, pay them 1 denarius. And people are like, whoa, what? You telling me they work for a couple hours for you, they get paid the same amount of money that I got paid working through the heat of the day? Why are we getting paid the same amount of money? You know what he said? The landowner said, will you agree to work for 1 denarius? I don't care if I hired you the 11th hour, the 12th hour. I gave you an opportunity to work for 1 denarius, and you said yes. So let me break this down some more. For those of you that said yes to $10 an hour, $15 an hour, $20 an hour, don't complain. However, with that being said, you're not stuck there. Don't be lazy and say, hey, is there a way, can I be part of this cash flow? Can I be part of this bonus system? Can I be part of this growth of this company? If I do my thing, if I'm not lazy, work that out with your employer. And for some of you that are entrepreneurs, this entrepreneur is still working the 11th hour, still working the 12th hour. I don't know, somebody around this country said it's okay to be an entrepreneur and be a minimalist, to work less and make more. Man, isn't that what everybody's dream would be? But that's not really the reality. You ask somebody if you really want to build a real business that creates real jobs and makes real impact on people, not just for a lifestyle type of business. Because, by the way, that's a different type of business. People have a lifestyle business. They have a business so they have a lifestyle versus people actually want to make an impact. Two different types of businesses, but if you want to build a business to make an impact, you build and create jobs. You build and create departments. You build and create other businesses not just to be a minimalist. So therefore you do a 2, 3, 4 hour work day, you get to live your life however you want to live it. It's no problem. But if you want to build something that lasts, that you want to create generational wealth, it's very hard to do something like that if you have a business that you're only doing for 1, 2, 3 hours a day. But if you want to build something that lasts, you cannot be lazy. And then number 3, so what am I talking about? Specialize. Well, in the Bible, you know, if you've heard the story of Father Abraham, the old Bible song says, Father Abraham had many sons had Father Abraham. And by the way, both Muslim and Christian and Jewish believe in Father Abraham because he birthed many nations through his tribe. What was his tribe? The 12 tribes of Israel. And in those 12 tribes of Israel, what did they do? Here's a screenshot of what the jobs and the names of the 12 tribes of Israel were standing for and what they're about. They had many different names. Yes, they were all related, but here's the most important part. These tribes had different jobs. They made their money selling tents. They made their money traveling across the country, selling spices, selling clothes, textiles. Some of them were warriors. Some of those tribes were warriors. One tribe, the tribe of Levi, it's written in the book of Leviticus, they were the worshipers. They were the priests. They were the ones closest to the Word of God. So their job didn't have any other work obligation because they were supported by the other tribes of Israel, but their job is to preach. Their job is to hold Bible study. Their job is to preach on Sundays. That was the job of the Levites. When you're looking at these different tribes, however, they specialized in their thing. And what happened is they actually helped one another. So don't think that just because you're in a business that you can't specialize. You want to specialize to help others, to serve others, to improve your skills and abilities. Whatever you feel God has inspired you to do, go ahead and feel okay with being able to specialize. Because collectively, when they're working in the area of specialization, they got better. Think about this real quick. You go to a doctor, you have something with your heart. Do you want to see a foot doctor? Or do you want to see the heart doctor? There's a benefit of area specialization. And the coolest part about this is when you allow others to specialize, they get better in their area of specialty. So if I could become a better heart surgeon, if I become a better a person that makes clothes, if I become better of a person that understands construction, if I become a better person that understands law, if I become a better person that understands entrepreneurship and understanding winning the rules of the money game, guess what? Collectively, you are all better because you choose to specialize. And guess who gets paid the most in areas of specialization? Generalists or specialists? You know the answer to this. It's specialists. The general practitioner gets paid less than the brain surgeon. An entrepreneur is trying to do all things to all people, trying to create multiple streams of income, but hasn't created their Mississippi River cash flow yet. Guess what? They're generous. They don't have streams of income. They got trickles of income. But you got to find one area first to specialize in. The next one, number 4, is to improve. If you go back to the book of Genesis, now everybody sees this book of Genesis where Abraham was literally about to sacrifice his son Isaac for the obedience of God. Okay, so obviously, make a long story short, he's about to throw down a knife into his son and plunge the knife into his son, and God says, oh my gosh, you really were listening to me. Hold up. I want to bless you. I want to bless you right quick. Don't kill your son. Stop. Okay? But if you continue reading in some Bible studies, they stop reading at that chapter. And my recommendation to you is don't just listen to this video or just watch me share this video. I want you to go out and seek wisdom and understanding. Don't just depend on me or your preacher on Sundays or someone who teaches you. You go into the Word, whatever it is that you're studying. Because in chapters 23 and 24, you know what he's doing? Abraham's talking to different people from different lands coming through his land. He says, where are you from? What country are you from? What tribe are you from? Oh, you're not even from us. You're not even some of the tribes of Israel. You're from Egypt. You're from this part of the world. So what are you doing on my land gathering my food? This is my stuff. Why are you stealing from me? Oh, wait a minute. Is the Bible talking about ownership? Is the Bible talking about real estate? Is the Bible talking about, hey, listen, I made this. Why are you stealing from me? I think so. And he's telling them, why are you taking from me? How come you haven't learned how to do this? How come you haven't learned how to grow your own land? You're a nomad. You know what a nomad is? They go from here, they go to here, they go to here, they go to here, they're here, bum, 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 and they never literally settle down and want to improve. They just want to take from others. Woo! So yes, God doesn't want you to be broke. He wants you to be rich, but you got to improve. He doesn't want you bouncing around. He doesn't want you to have to steal and take from other people, church, government, charity, other folks that worked hard for their land to build and bust their businesses and create their business, bust their tail to build their businesses, to improve their careers. He wants you to improve. And so what are you obligated to do, in my personal opinion, which I might be wrong? God is instructing you, whatever talents and gifts and blessings and opportunities have come your way, is incumbent now upon you to improve it, to make it better. Don't just say, by the way, that's probably the hardest times of this year because you're out there busting your tail, Black Friday gifts. By the way, let me ask you a question. Black Friday gifts, did you really buy gifts for other people or did you just buy it for yourself? Did you really buy a flat screen TV for somebody else or did you just buy it for yourself? I don't know. You tell me. You're the one that's watching this video. I'm not, you don't have to hold yourself accountable to me. You're the one that has to live with yourself and look at yourself in the mirror. Did you really buy gifts for other people or did you really buy gifts for you with the money that God gave you? That you're supposed to say, I'm supposed to give this to others, but you really bought it for yourself? Did you just keep it for yourself? And see, that's the sad part about what this Christmas season does. It buys into consumerism versus, hey, how do I actually improve? Because here's the thing. Let's say you did buy gifts for people. Awesome. God bless you. Okay, you want to be a blessing to others. You gave somebody this, you gave somebody that, you gave somebody shoes, you gave somebody a toy, you gave somebody this, blah, 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 blah. Now, here's the thing. Who put skin in the game in terms of buying it, working hard for it, wrapping it, and giving it to you or giving it to them? You did, right? And how do you feel about giving a gift to somebody? Oh, you feel awesome. I want to see the reaction. I want to see the look on their face. Da, da, da. Awesome. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, da, 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 da. Merry Christmas. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. When the gift giving is done, the gift exchange is done, and you see the gift that you worked hard to buy, to wrap, to present, and you see the gift just laying around. Your kids just got the toys laying around. Who's angry that's laying around? Them, the person that you give the gift to, your kids that you give the gift to, or you? Who? You. You know why? Because you put skin in the game. You sought to improve. You sought to earn. You sought to purchase the gift. You sought to give it to them from the kindness and goodness of your heart. And what do they do to it? Nothing. They allow it to lay around. Interesting. I wonder how God feels about the gifts he's given you. I wonder how God feels about the talents and the opportunities he's shown your way, but you did nothing with it. Improve, my friends, because God wants you to be rich, not broke. And last but not least, I believe that God has been trying to tell you for generations that this is an abundant world, not a world of scarcity. Look what America just did. Look what the federal funds rate did. Look what the Federal Reserve did last week in terms of the federal funds rate. They dropped the rates again next to near zero. And guess what people have access to now? Capital, cash, to grow the businesses, to invest into themselves, to invest in other things. You have access to it now. But how come you're not? Because possibly many people didn't improve. Possibly because people didn't specialize. Possibly because people were lazy. Possibly because people are operating in a position of being broke. So how come you aren't getting out this free money this government is handing to you? How come you're not buying real estate? How come you're not investing in businesses or going in business for yourself? You have access to capital. The federal funds rates that said, or the government has said, okay, we're going to create an opportunity for people in America to become wealthy, to become rich. We're going to create a country. We're going to create laws. We're going to create an economic system where people can go from nothing to something. They can go from broke to bonk. So what are you doing with it? This is an abundant world. We just came back from a retreat. And I can't tell you how many people from different backgrounds, from different countries, from different religious and sexual orientations, they come here to America and they do something with the talents and gifts and opportunities they've been given. They went to this $1 million retreat to become better. They went to this retreat because they want to associate with people who are also looking to get better. They will learn from people who are doing a lot better than them. That's what they did because they understand abundance, not scarcity. So when you're operating in this world, and you say, listen, man, does God really want me to be rich? Well, if you're in America, yes. What a blessing it is to be here in the United States of America. What a blessing it is to be an entrepreneur. What a blessing it is to say, I own something. I have titles and deeds. I have something I can call my own. And so when you're operating in this world, this is the last episode of Vlogmas of 2020. And one of the things that I didn't think that would catch on in this whole Vlogmas series, we're uploading an episode every day to the 24th, was the Sunday morning Bible studies here of how I perceive and look through the Bible. And again, that's just the way I'm doing it. I'm not saying that's the way I'm not pushing this upon you. I'm just saying this is how I'm perceiving this and how I can become better, how I can serve more people, how I can lead my family, how I can be a blessing to others. And guess what? It's not just reserved for me. It's incumbent upon you to do the same thing.